Good afternoon, everyone. Thanks for joining us for our 2:30 streaming show. I'm Jamie French. Just a couple of headlines to bring to you this afternoon before we get you over to your latest weather forecast. First, new this afternoon, it is official. The Evansville Fire Department is now ready to launch their ambulance service for city residents. So today was another step forward in that. A contract was finalized for the employees who will work for the new Evansville EMS. Now that is set to start up officially on July 1st. Officials say this contract guarantees pay and job security and establishes a labor framework for EMTs and paramedics. By finalizing this contract, though, officials hope the transition towards a fire-based EMS will go smoothly and quickly. Firefighters say they are excited to get to work this summer. 47 full-time staff have been hired already, with some part-time paramedic positions still open. So our Leslie Chapman will have more on that tonight on 14 News. A cool story that we are following today, a Castle Elementary 5th grader has been recognized for exceptional bravery. Fire officials say 11-year-old Elizabeth Chambers acted quickly last October when her great-grandmother had a medical emergency. She says that her blood sugar dropped too low. Officials say Elizabeth remained composed. She acted swiftly and ensured that emergency crews could get to her. They say her ability to maintain composure under these stressful circumstances exemplified courage beyond her years. Now, at her recent 5th grade graduation, Elizabeth was honored with a certificate of excellence. There she is with that award in hand. Gabe Pontonis spoke with her and her great-grandmother today. He's going to have that heartwarming story tonight on 14 News. Lastly, to round out our headlines this afternoon, as families start summer break, Henderson County schools are offering a new way to provide meals to students while they're out of school. This is all through a new partnership with the USDA. It's called the Summer Sun Meals Program. It offers Henderson County students ages 18 and under 7 days worth of free meals each week. Now, school staff hosted a kickoff event today at North Middle School, and looky there, they made it fun. They had some inflatables looking like some bubbles, games, and of course the food was there. Now, just a note for families, you must sign up in advance for the food program and register for one of the weekly meal pickup sites. Now, that program officially begins next Tuesday, the 26th. We will have the link to register on our website, 14news.com. All right, that sort of wraps things up. Of course, we're going to have a whole lot more, plenty more stories for you tonight on 14 News at 4, 5, 6, and then later at 10. But it's another gloomy day out there. I'm sure you guys are getting ready for your Memorial Day weekend plans. So we are going to turn things over to meteorologist Arden Gregory with your forecast right after the break.
Stay informed on your local news and weather throughout the day by watching the 14 First Alert streaming shows. At 8:30 a.m., get your First Alert forecast to plan the day ahead and catch up on the news that happened overnight with the 14 News Sunrise team. In the afternoon, get the latest headlines, forecasts, and a preview of the stories we're working on with the 14 First Alert streaming show at 2:30. And get an in-depth look at the 14 First Alert forecast so you're ready for the next big thing with the 14 First Alert weather show at 9 p.m. Watch the 14 First Alert streaming show that fits your schedule and works best for you. Streaming on your phone by downloading the 14 News app and the 14 First Alert weather app. On your smart TV by using the 14 News streaming app. And stream anytime on Facebook, YouTube, or on 14news.com. Stay connected and stay informed by watching the 14 First Alert streaming shows on your favorite streaming devices.
Good afternoon. I'm 14 First Alert meteorologist Arden Gregory. Here's a live look at the Twin Bridges looking over into Henderson. Traffic seems to be moving along okay there right now. We have some changes on the way. We've had a lot of rain over the past 3 days. Today it's cool and cloudy, but one change is it's finally dry. We're getting a bit of a break from the rain. It is not going to last though. Tomorrow is a new First Alert weather day as rain and some thunderstorms are likely. There's a very isolated threat. We could even see some strong to severe storms. The main reason it's a First Alert weather day, though, is even though the severe weather threat is low, there is that chance, and there's a lot happening this Friday. We've got like a dozen different high schools in the tri-state holding graduations on Friday. It's the start to the long Memorial Day weekend, so There's a lot happening, a lot of outdoor plans, and so we wanted to really draw your attention that at the best, Friday's weather is probably going to be a little disruptive to a lot of people's plans, and at worst, it could maybe even be severe. Beyond that, it is drier, but not truly dry. The rain chances are going to be isolated, but there's still a chance. It's still kind of unsettled through Memorial Day weekend and all the way into the middle of next week. Now, I mentioned we've had a lot of rain over the past 3 days. These are the totals. So you can see this string here of yellow, orange, and reds. Those areas picked up 2 to 3 inches of rain, some even more than that. Out in Union County, they had 4 inches of rain reported there, closer to 3.5 to 3 3/4 in parts of Perry and Du Bois counties there. We had 3 inches reported in Newburgh. The official total in Evansville was 2.37 inches of rain over the past 3 days. So even in the lighter areas, we still got around an inch of rain. So beneficial, much needed rain across the entire tri-state over the past 3 days. Today, though, has been dry. We've had some rain off to our southeast. You can still kind of see it there east of I-65, but across the tri-state, it's just been very cloudy but dry, and that's going to be the trend for the rest of the day today. We're going to keep these mostly cloudy skies on through this evening, but I don't think we'll see any rain from those clouds. So there are still a handful of graduations happening this evening, mostly cloudy but dry through the rest of the night tonight. Very, very late tonight into early Friday morning, we start to see rain chances returning. Now, oftentimes our weather goes from west to east. That's not going to be the case this time around. This rain is going to come up from the south. So it's going to hit western Kentucky first and move from south to north across the tri-state as we go through Friday morning. So by about lunchtime on Friday, I think we will have widespread rain across the entire tri-state, and we'll then continue to see rain on into Friday afternoon. It is possible, in addition to the rain, we could see some thunderstorms, maybe even an isolated strong to severe storm. That rain then becomes much more scattered to isolated as we get into Friday night, but we don't fully shake the rain chances. There's still an isolated chance of a few spotty showers even into the day on Saturday, although Saturday is trending mainly dry. Our rain chances on Saturday are pretty spotty. As for that severe weather threat, the Storm Prediction Center has placed just the southeast corner of the tri-state in a marginal risk. So this is focused mainly over Perry, Hancock, Davis, Ohio, McLean, Hopkins, and Muhlenberg counties. To the northwest, we're outlooked for more just general run-of-the-mill thunderstorms, but there's still that potential for heavy rain. I do want to point out that we're right on the edge of what is actually a pretty large area outlooked for potential severe weather tomorrow. So this marginal risk goes from the tri-state and it extends east and includes all of central Kentucky. Then it also extends south through Tennessee all the way into Mississippi and Alabama. So this is a large area outlooked for potential isolated severe storms on Friday, and we're just kind of on the northwest corner of that, where we could maybe get an isolated strong to severe storm here as well. What's interesting about this threat is there's not a major damaging wind or hail threat associated with this. The primary concern is flooding. We're going to have widespread rain. Some of that rain could be heavy, and so flooding is the most likely concern with these storms tomorrow, in addition to some lightning, which is obviously hazardous if you get caught outdoors in it. But you'll notice the tornado threat, it's low, 2%, but those areas outlooked in that marginal risk, it's primarily for the risk of a very brief, weak spin-up tornado. So again, the chances of that are slim, but we don't want anyone to be caught off guard. So we added that alert day just to let you know the chances are not zero. It's a low chance, but there is still a chance we could get a quick spin-up tornado within these storms rolling through tomorrow. But for most of us, it's just going to be rain, albeit possibly some heavy rain and flooding. So that's why we've got this first alert weather day now on Friday. Widespread rain, but then that isolated chance that we could maybe see a strong to severe storm that may have frequent lightning, torrential rain, a heavy downpour, and maybe even a quick spin-up tornado. But for most of us, the weather is going to be more impactful and disruptive than it is severe. Our severe weather chances are low. For most of us, though, Friday's weather is going to be impactful to outdoor plans. A lot of people are already done with school. The handful of schools still going tomorrow. I'm guessing you've got a lot of field days and things like that planned. It's going to be raining. We've got a lot of graduations happening tomorrow night. The rain does taper off as we get into Friday night, but still there's a chance that if you are planning on having it outside on the football field or something like that, that this weather could be impactful to that. So just be aware. Checking in on the comments real quick. Good afternoon, Ty and Zach. Zach is asking about widespread severe weather over the next several days. We are not expecting any widespread severe weather, Zach. Tomorrow is the only day where I even really see much of a potential for severe weather, and even that is very isolated. So no widespread severe weather expected across the tri-state. And beyond this, while there are still some rain chances, I'm not really anticipating severe weather at all as we get into next week. It seems like a lighter, more scattered rain. Quick mention here of our temperatures. With the clouds and the cool breeze from the north, we've really struggled to warm up today. We're sitting in the mid 60s right now. It's 64 in Evansville, 65 in Owensboro, and I just don't expect those temperatures to change much as we go through the rest of this evening. So for those of you who do have graduations happening this evening, just be aware not a lot's going to change. It's going to be mostly cloudy and just kind of cool. We'll just hold steady in these mid 60s through the rest of this evening, and then start to very slowly drop back into the lower 60s as we get into the overnight hours tonight, eventually bottoming out in the upper 50s to right around 60 degrees overnight tonight. And then tomorrow, we do have that first alert weather day. Widespread rain is likely. Some isolated thunderstorms are possible within that. High temperatures will probably peak somewhere in the upper 60s to maybe low 70s. We will start to see our wind direction changing by the end of the day on Friday and pulling in some warmer air. That will push us into the mid to maybe upper 70s on Saturday. Then we've got upper 70s to low 80s through the start of next week. But one thing you may have noticed is the rain chances. While our best chance of rain is tomorrow, we still have some isolated to scattered rain chances through this weekend and all the way through the middle of next week. So let's take a closer look at those rain chances. The rain on Friday is going to be because we've got this low pressure system and warm front swinging up into the tri-state. That's why our rain is moving from south to north, is it's coming up with this warm front. I will say, you know, we kind of have a bit of a saying here in the weather office to never trust a warm front. So that's part of why we're iffy on these storm chances for Friday and went ahead and issued a first alert weather day. Oftentimes warm fronts are pretty benign. They just bring you some scattered rain, but never trust them. Every once in a while, they'll throw you a rogue severe thunderstorm there. So we do have this warm front swinging through on Friday. This low pressure system then lifts to the north as we go into Saturday. The heavy rain and the thunderstorm threat move out with it. But notice this stationary front draped back behind that low pressure system. That's going to just kind of lag over the tri-state, and so we'll continue to see some very isolated rain chances Saturday. Saturday is trending mostly dry. I think most of the day Saturday will be dry, but there's still a chance of some spotty rain, and then a slightly better chance on Sunday, but still Sunday not a washout, just a few very spotty showers, maybe a brief thunderstorm. On Monday, that stationary front starts to dip down to the southeast. We may briefly get a break from the rain. Then it doubles back on us and we see those rain chances picking back up late in the day Monday. And then as this front just kind of remains stagnant over our region, those rain chances just linger over the tri-state into Tuesday and Wednesday of next week as well. So again, with the low pressure system and the warm front swinging through tomorrow, widespread rain is likely. We have added this first alert weather day for the isolated chance of a severe thunderstorm that may be capable of producing a torrential downpour, frequent lightning, or maybe even a brief spin-up tornado, although the chances of that are very low. Then the rain becomes much lighter, much more spotty. Much of the day on Saturday will be dry. We might even get a few peaks of sun, but there's still an isolated chance of rain. Rain chances pick up a bit more on Sunday, but still not a washout. There will be quite a bit of dry time this weekend, but if you have outdoor plans, you just need to be keeping an eye on the radar and make sure you have a backup plan where you can quickly move things indoors if you need to, if it starts to rain or thunderstorm. Monday, I think, may start out dry for Memorial Day, but as that stationary front starts to lift back to the north, our rain chances pick back up Monday afternoon and evening, and then we continue to see scattered rain just lingering across the tri-state through the middle of next week. So again, I don't think any of these days will be a washout. We may get a few rumbles of thunder, so I did leave the lightning bolts on the icons there, but mostly this is going to be light scattered rain. Maybe the occasional thunderstorm or pocket of heavy rain, but most of what we're going to see from Saturday through the middle of next week is going to be light scattered rain. So again, not a washout, but just a chance of rain every single day, as we'll be just kind of stuck under that stationary front. That also means even if we don't see a ton of rain, we're also not going to see a lot of sunshine either. Looking at our temperatures so far this month, we started out pretty cool. A lot of days in the 50s and 60s, but we've warmed up here through the middle of the month with more 70s and 80s. We got some very beneficial rainfall over the past 3 days. Prior to that, the only real good rain we had was on Tuesday the 5th, and then that carried over through Tuesday night. Here just in the past couple days, though, we have picked up more than 2 inches of rain. Some folks even saw more than 3 inches of rain. So that has really helped with our shortfall on rain so far this month. Just yesterday, we picked up nearly another inch. So far, total for this month, we're at about 3¼ inches of rain for Evansville. Still just shy of where we should be for the month of May, because the first half was so dry. But the rain that we've had in the past couple days has really put a dent in that. And I think the additional rain we have in the forecast tomorrow and the rest of this week will help us overcome that deficit in many locations. We are still running short on the year as well, because even though we are kind of making up for the dry weather we've had so far this month, doesn't change the fact that January, February, the second half of March, and April all also had below average precipitation. So it's just been kind of a dry spring. Our average temperature still a couple degrees short of normal, but we've really made some major gains recently with more days with highs in the 80s. Yeah, James is ready for summer, ready for the rain to go away and get some 90s in here. Unfortunately, we don't have any of that in the forecast, James. And Cindy, looking forward to some thunderstorms perhaps, leaving those icons there in the comments. Here's an updated look at the drought monitor. Now, I want to explain the drought monitor real quickly, and I promise it'll be quick. Something you need to know about the drought monitor: it comes out once a week on Thursdays. So this is the new one for this week. We won't see a change to it until next Thursday. But the data that they're tabulating goes from Tuesday morning to Tuesday morning. So Tuesday morning, they take whatever rain you've gotten in the past week, they spend all day Tuesday and Wednesday then determining drought conditions for the entire country, and then they put out a new map on Thursday. So this does take into account the rain that we got on Monday, but it does not take into account the rain we got on Tuesday or Wednesday. So the rain from Tuesday and Wednesday, the rain we're going to see Friday, any rain that we see on Memorial Day, that'll all be tabulated in next week's drought monitor. But even with the rain on Monday factored into this, we really didn't see a lot of change, because like I said, it helped us. It was really beneficial rain. It was rain that we needed, but it was still not enough to fully dig us out of the hole that we are in right now. This drought has been getting pretty serious. So one good round of rain on Monday is not going to be the cure-all for the kind of drought that we've got going on here right now. I'll be curious to see what the drought monitor looks like when it updates again a week from now, after we've had a few more days of rain chances there. If you need to get out and mow your grass, I would encourage you to do it today. I know it's kind of cool and cloudy, but at least it's not raining. Friday, no good. It's going to be really rainy on Friday. Don't try and plan to get any outdoor work done on Friday. Saturday and Sunday I put as iffy. There is that isolated chance of rain. You could maybe catch a shower, but there's also the good chance that as long as you time it right, you could still get out and get your grass mowed on Saturday or Sunday. So if you don't have time today, you need to hold off for the weekend. I think you'll be able to get it done. Just make sure you check the radar before you head out. Looking at temperatures through the next 7 days, tomorrow still pretty cool, upper 60s to low 70s. That rain is going to cool us off some, but the warm front coming with it is helping to usher in some warmer air. We really feel that kicking in then as we get into the weekend. Upper 70s to low 80s then from this weekend through early next week, maybe even low to mid 80s by the middle of next week. The extended outlook for next weekend, so we're talking Friday, Saturday, Sunday of next week, the last few days of May here, the trend does show near to maybe slightly above average temperatures, so probably holding on to those low to mid 80s in many locations. And the precipitation outlook still shows near to slightly above average precipitation. Looks like the better chance for rain will be down to our south, but still, I mean, we've got those rain chances that linger all the way into Wednesday and Thursday. We may still not shake the rain chances even through the end of next week. We just don't have anything coming in to really clear that stationary front out of here. What we need is a high pressure system to move in and bring us some sunshine, but we just don't have it in the forecast right now. So we'll be stuck under these mostly cloudy skies with just kind of hit or miss rain from this Memorial Day weekend all the way through most of next week as well, with temperatures ranging in the upper 70s to low 80s there. All right, I'm not seeing any other questions, so I'm going to wrap this up. Meteorologist Michael Fecca will have an updated look at your forecast on 14 News tonight at 4, 5, 6, and 10, and he'll do another streaming show here tonight at 9. So if you do have any questions about the forecast, drop them in the comments on the Facebook video tonight at 9, and Michael will do his best to answer those questions for you then. All right, everybody have a great rest of your day. Enjoy the dry weather while we've got it.